Welcome back, Full Heel Podcast. I'm your host, Donkeytron. You can find me on Xbox Live with that gamer tag. That is Donkeytron again. The zero in Tron is the O in Tron is a zero. So remember that. You can find me playing Elder Scrolls, the new download Elsewhere, or whatever it's called, with the Dragon expansion. All that cool shit. Check out the rewrites. They're the music you heard on the intro. They're playing around Chicago all the time. They're the ones that help me with my fight companions. And go ahead and subscribe to the Full Heel Podcast. Hundreds of episodes, thousands of hours of content. UFC, WWE, WCW, AEW, NWO,
EC-Dub.
all of that shit. I want to introduce my guest, Ryan. You guys know Ryan.
The Attitude Era correspondent. If you don't know me by now, what's wrong with you guys? Come on.
So I got
annoying Jeff since 2006.
Flying Ryan. Yeah, annoying Jeff.
Annoying Jeff.
Jeff might kill you for this one.
He might.
So this is episode 100. Finally, almost closing in on 3 years. I think in July. I better check the date. I always miss it by a month. It's either June or July, and it probably already passed, or it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll figure it out today.
You'll
right
find
after
out
this.
soon.
Yeah. I want to thank you, Ryan, for episode 100, which technically it is 100, but technically it isn't. So I had a weird system that I continued from the beginning, and I was numbering my episodes, but then a fight companion came around, and I named it Fight Companion, or let's say, for instance, Cejudo versus Marias Live Fight Companion. That's what the names are. So they're not numbered. So I have over 100 episodes, closer to 200 episodes, but technically, numbered wise, numerically, in the system, in the record book, this is episode 100. So welcome, Ryan. Thanks for joining me.
That's your nice way to prevent me from getting my ass kicked.
No, well, it's the truth.
I know.
Weird.
It's just giving me a hard time.
Yeah.
No, thank you for having me on. I'm lucky to draw the number, I guess,
Yeah,
right?
no,
Because
it's a lucky
draw. The random episodes that you do with Jeff Shanahan from average shows, like we talked about your fight companions, having other pay-per-views broken down with your boys. So
Jeff was close.
The draw.
Jeff was 97. You were 98. Toucan was 99, and this is 100. I was trying to squeeze in 2 episodes on Saturday, one before the UFC because I wanted to go see UFC 238, and then one after UFC 238. If you guys haven't checked out the one after, because I didn't do one before, go ahead and check that out. Me and Toucan talk about UFC 238, which I'll probably get into a little bit right now too, with Ryan.
Is Jessica I woken up yet?
I don't know. Someone should check up on her.
I told you could see a murder.
God damn it! Did you watch the pay-per-view, Ryan?
I skipped it on the pay-per-view. I just I knew the results the next day, and I tried to find the full fights as best I could, but I didn't catch necessarily all of it. But from what I did see, it was, you get those fights where it's like 436, 435, 434, 419, and you're like the 15-second jump just out of nowhere, so that kind of sucks. But you get the gist of most of it, and from you miss a bit here and there. But from what I saw, it looked like an epic card. So
it was awesome card. Maybe not a ton of huge names. Cerrone, Ferguson being probably the 2 biggest ones on the card. Other than that, there was incredible fighters that I knew all throughout the card that I've seen fight. Maybe one fight I didn't, which was I think it was Brevin Lewis and I forgot the other guy's name. But
was it the Rashad and
Rashad? Yeah. They just don't have a lot of fights in the UFC themselves, and if they do one of the guys had more losses than he did wins in the UFC, and he's still around. So I just didn't know who they were, but that was just one of the fights. The first fight was Calderwood versus Chukagan. Good fight. It was all an hour.
Did anyone pick Chikagan to win that fight? Do you
I don't
know?
think so.
Yeah, get out of here. You know I did.
I don't think so, bro.
You and Jeff destroyed me. Get out
I
of
don't know,
here.
bro. Dude, JoJo let me down big time, man.
I didn't see any of that fight, so I don't know how it went.
Chukagian beat her in the stand-up all day.
Just that's it. It's so boxed her.
Just fucking combos, and Calderwood. I don't know what the hell she was doing, just taking it. She never took her. She never tried to take her to the floor, which is where I thought Chukagian was gonna take her and dominate her. But
I hate when you expect a fighter to go into a fight, and like when they start getting touched up a little bit or they're taken down, they kind of like adjust themselves.
mm-hmm.
And then when you see a fighter that knows to do that doesn't do it, and you're just like, what are you doing? Like you, it's they kind of like toss their game plan out the window for one round, ends up costing the whole fight.
Yeah. So we'll get into Super Showdown 2019. Go ahead and drop your questions in the live chat for anyone watching. Me and Ryan will answer them if there are any by the end of the show, or as we see them come up if they're interesting enough. And if they're stupid, I'm just going to ignore them. So, yeah. We'll see. We will see. No, but all in all, the pay-per-view was fantastic. I enjoyed it more than last year's, even though the Romero and
Was that Whitaker?
Yeah, Whitaker went to war though. That was a fantastic 5-round war. But like I said, these were all wars. There was only one dull fight, which was the Baby Rashad versus Baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that one was just kind of wrestling, pressing against the cage. Everyone else was down to throw down, dude. Everyone was like, "Come on, let's go, let's throw down."
Well, when I saw the main card results, when I woke up in the morning, I was just like blown away. I was just like, oh, like fuck this happened, like, fuck that happened. Then, well, when I saw the Cerrone one, I saw decision second or Doctor TKO stoppage in the second round, 5 minutes. I was like, how? Like he just quit on the stool. I had no idea what happened. It was
with the nose
with
thing.
with the nose thing, yeah. So every result I was reading, I was just like, what? Like I was kicking myself. Like I knew I fucking should have watched it.
Yeah, because you asked, you're like, hey, what was all the controversy about? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, but Cerrone blew his nose. I'm like, I didn't see this controversy, but apparently they did make it out as controversial, right?
Yeah, like some people are saying that he deserves a second fight, or the doctor shouldn't have stopped it, and all these different things.
Cowboy's getting beat, dude. He needed out of there. He was gonna get knocked out. Tony was working the body, then started working the face and continued working the body. He was gonna break Cowboy.
Right.
It was better he went out that way than getting knocked the fuck out or Darce choked.
You think he blew his nose on purpose, maybe, like to take the easy way out without having to look like a quitter, or do you think it was just like in the moment, got to clear my nose, I can't breathe?
He's a professional, man.
Yeah.
And
like
me not being a professional knows this. Toucan not knowing this is not being a professional knows this. Like a lot of non-professional keyboard warriors knew don't blow your nose, and for Donald to blow his nose is kind of, I don't know,
a little suspect.
It's a little suspect. I think he was getting beat. I think he was losing.
He knew he couldn't. He knew he wasn't going to get the finish or something. Probably knew Ferguson wasn't going to risk going to the ground.
I don't know why they're trying to do the rematch, to be honest.
I don't think they should. I think right now, while the iron's hot with Ferguson, you try to make a big payday and sign him with Conor and have that be the number one contender to Khabib and Poirier.
I don't know if you saw Khabib, but Khabib is like
oh yeah,
Ferguson next in line. I don't know why we talking Conor quit.
So, yeah, until Poirier beats him, and then he says, "I'm next in line." Like they also, yeah, they say it, but
that's all it goes.
But that's like, I mean,
they never want to give a rematch, so they need it.
Yeah, and Khabib's one of those guys that like he fights in September. Who like he might not fight until next. Like he's known to get hurt. He's known to miss weight. Like there are these issues. Like just at least sign Conor and Ferguson right now would be a huge payday for Ferguson, which would be awesome. It would be probably a really fun fight, and you can just clear up any nonsense of who really is deserving. Even though, like Conor never defended the title, he jumped up, got it, never lost it, couldn't win it. He's kind of deserving, not really. Ferguson undefeated in 12, was the champion, stripped because of injury, all that kind of stuff. Like they're like every camp has its argument, and the UFC throws title fights together that make no sense sometimes. why not just strike right now with these guys and make them fight for number one?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where they're gonna go with this. It's kind of confusing because even Ferguson was like, "Oh yeah, let's run it back if that's what they want to do." I was like, "What? All right, cool, whatever."
He gets
Dumbass.
another easy win.
Well, it's
That's
like,
what he's looking. That's probably how he's seeing it.
yeah, yeah. Ferguson didn't look too bad. Like he looked like Ferguson. He took some damage in the first round, but was bringing it on heavy. Second round, I don't think that shot after the bell really did anything. That I think that's where the controversy was. But to be honest, I don't think it did.
It wasn't
If
like Durandamy and home or anything like where it's like really just like fucked them up.
no, Cowboy he stood there like people are like, oh, he was stunned. No, he was standing there like, what the fuck, dude? Like that was after the bell. But
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see what goes on with that.
yeah. There's a lot of things that they can still do, but
Yeah. Sunday, I cooked some big ass steaks for my father.
oh, you did, yeah.
Yeah, and then I cooked for everybody, burgers, some other type of steak that my dad brought, thinner ones for like tacos and shit like that, and then
Oh,
chicken, like a bunch of shit. But I just cooked for him for his birthday, and brought the nephews over, and then we got him a cake, and that was it. It's a pretty nice Sunday.
nice.
You looking
Happy
forward
birthday,
to?
Papa Chidas.
Thank you. You looking forward to Father's Day? Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday. Yeah, I look. We always we view these
What
as
are the kids
another
getting
day.
you?
Oh, probably nothing. No, we don't do
Poor
like
Ryan.
we don't do Mother's Day, Father's Day. Like
What?
we're low key. Like we'll celebrate the kids on their birthdays. We'll do something nice for our anniversary. But my
Mhm.
birthday, her birthday, it's not a big deal. If we get something, we get something. It's just I just like being with the family regardless. It's all that matters to me. So
Yeah, that's what my dad wanted. So I just bought all the barbecue stuff, and I just I made sure everyone came, and yeah, had a nice Sunday.
yeah, so it's all it's about.
Yeah. So you want to get into it or what?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. WWE Super Showdown 2019 in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. This is the second installment of their shows. Their third, actually. Sorry, they've had three different ones, but this is their second installment of Super Showdown
Oh right.
for their 10-year contract with Saudi Arabia. So they're gonna do shows for 10 years there. They're getting paid a fuckload of money. So
Do you think they'll ever convince any officials to somehow let the women compete?
they were talking about it this year.
Okay. Because I
Not
remember last year when it started up, there was that whole controversy with the rights and all that kind of stuff and how they can perform. And I thought maybe they might sneak something in, like even like a manager or something like that, or like a quick distraction or whatever. But I was surprised to not see anything except for Renee Young.
yeah, Renee Young on commentary without burqa, I think they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she was there like that. I heard rumors that that the WWE was trying to get them to allow the women to have one match where they have the bodysuit. I don't know if you remember they did that one year. Have you seen that Alexa Bliss and
I don't think I
Sasha
no.
Banks? Let me look it up real quick. They had a match in the Middle East versus each other, but they wore complete bodysuits,
Okay.
like Ray
No.
did, but without the mask.
Okay.
And they competed. I forgot exactly where.
It would be like a. I guess it would be a tribute to the troops because that's they've competed there forever.
Let's see if I can find something on that. Oh, in Abu Dhabi. They
Oh,
competed in
okay.
Abu Dhabi, where I think women. I don't know the cultural things they do there, but yeah, they have they wear complete bodysuits, and they let them compete there. So this is the second show of that, and their major attraction is a 50-man battle royal, and I guess their main event or their main attraction would be the Undertaker versus Goldberg, which wasn't really
No.
that great, but we'll get into that. We can start off with the. Well, I didn't see the first match though.
No, yeah, I didn't get that one either.
Off the
Like,
preview, the
yeah,
Usos and the Revival. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it until the Battle Royale when they referenced it.
Well, these guys have been going at it now for a couple weeks. They've been having feuds on Raw and on the house shows. So pretty sure it's more of the same. This was just a more glorified match. The tag team
Right.
titles weren't on the line. I don't even know if these guys are the champions.
No, uh, isn't it Daniel Bryan on SmackDown and
Yeah, I
Zack
thought the
Ryder?
Usos were
Isn't Zack
champion here.
Ryder still champion?
Are they the champions? Those the weird ass tag team, Zack Ryder and you might
Kurt
be right.
Hawkins.
Yeah, I think
I
you
don't
might be
think they
right.
lost it ever.
See,
I mean,
that's how forgettable they are. They don't even put them on anything if they are champions. I should check it. Should look it up. But if anything, the champions weren't on the match or in the
no, it was just like a team versus team, just
or on
regular
the card.
tag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first match, I guess, official match on the opening up the pay per view was Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin. Very strange.
Yeah.
Uh,
Another pay-per-view opener for
yeah,
Seth Rollins after WrestleMania.
yeah. I don't
Um,
know if he likes opening up the show or something, but it seems like it.
get in, get out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really a big. I like Baron Corbin. I don't like him in this role. I think that there are better guys they could have put in this match. I know that some guys don't feel comfortable performing there, so they don't want to go. Other guys are tied to other matches. Yeah, this did nothing for me. I mean, it was a good match for what it was. Uh,
To be honest, it was a better match of Baron Corbin that I've seen in a while. He hasn't really been able to put on a match like this, and I guess it's because it was for the WWE Universal Championship against Seth Rollins, but he was able to get a lot of offense off.
he looked better, and well, I mean, when you see him compete against a guy like Seth Rollins who's good in the ring, you can see flashes of why that he was Money in the Bank, why they had some hopes for him. And then you watch him against a guy like Kurt Angle who can't move. He's older, he's beat up, and he has this bad match, and I think that really hurts him. People look at him like, oh, he can't perform. Um, yeah, I think the one thing that draws me away from Baron Corbin, they got to change his outfit. They
So
got to lose
do
that
you,
suit thing,
do you
man.
remember him as the lone wolf? I enjoyed him more as a lone wolf, but once he cut his
Yeah,
hair, he started wearing a corporate thing. I don't think they should have changed it. He didn't need a change of gear when he changed the
hmm
hairstyle. It's just he was going bald, and it looked like
Oh
Venom
yeah,
was clinged onto his hair. So
taking over. Yeah,
yeah,
but I mean, like, yeah, I don't know why they had to go the suit level or look rather. I think they could have gotten away. Like you look at like a guy like Stone Cold, flowing blonde hair, goes bald, shaves it, black trunks, boom. Like you can go the easy route and look a lot better sometimes.
yeah, yeah. So Baron Corbin does not become the Universal Champion. They put on an 11-minute match. Like I said, it was a good match. I'd probably grade it a B minus. Nothing special about it. They just put on a match.
I love the I love the old school ending
Mm-hmm.
with the heel getting into the ref's face.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
the referee pushes him back. You don't touch me. I'm the official. Quick schoolboy. 1, 2, 3. Get in, get out. Like Baron Corbin has like his argument like why he should
Yeah.
still go.
So a little bit of background for this. Seth Rollins beats Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. Brock Lesnar comes back, wins the Money in the Bank. So we're kind of in fear of Brock Lesnar coming in and cashing in. So Brock Lesnar last Monday beat the shit out of Seth Rollins, fucked up his ribs. Seth Rollins has fucked up ribs in this match. So most of the match he's getting beat up by Corbin. And like you mentioned right now, Corbin is getting more and more into it with the referee. He's getting more in his face, pinning him against the corner for failed 3 counts that Baron Corbin wants called in his favor. Uh, it goes on for a while. Seth kicks out of the deep six. That's when Baron Corbin gets in the ref's face for the final time, like the third and final time. This is the ref. The ref is fed up with it and pushes back on Corbin and who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? And yeah, like you mentioned, Seth Rollins gets the little roll up, 1, 2, 3, simple pin. We'll probably get a rematch of this in the near future. maybe not pay per view, but I think actually they were mentioning it for Stomping Ground because this is kind of like a mid pay per view since it's for Saudi Arabia.
I could see this. I don't know why, but I can feel them giving the belt to Corbin just to have Lesnar uh, cash in on him,
Mm-hmm.
or do a WrestleMania replay kind of thing where Brock Lesnar would cash in when they're fighting and pin Corbin so that Rollins can say, "You never beat me for the belt," kind of deal. I can see them doing something like that. But we'll see.
So everyone was thinking that Brock was going to cash in, that he was going to use his Money in the Bank. That was what was thought by everybody. But well, Brock actually does come out, and it was planned, not kind of. It was 100% planned. Heyman falls and drops the suitcase, which distracts Brock. He's like, "What?" Even though it's not something you can steal and take for yourself, it's not a fucking. I don't know. It's not.
Oh yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not like just like just random property
Yeah.
like a nickel or a quarter on the
Mhm.
ground. It's the contract is in there. It's
Yeah,
like
it's not like there's not there's no money in there. It's not it's a contract for Brock Lesnar and the WWE and for the Universal Championship
yeah,
match.
it's not like you see Paul Heyman's like I'm gonna cash in for him unless
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
what he was trying to do kind of thing. It was
hmm
bizarre.
So he drops it. Brock gets distracted, and it's all it all leads into what so the kayfabe or whatever. So he goes punches him in the nuts. Seth Rollins does punches him in the nuts, and then they're telling the little story of Seth Rollins not letting Brock Lesnar cash in. So he hits him in the nuts, gets the chair, and then beats the shit out of Brock Lesnar. Uh, he was taking some hard swings.
I
He
yeah, his body afterwards when he was leaving the ring. Yeah, whew, like I got the flashbacks to The Rock and Mankind from Royal
Mhm.
Rumble '98. Like if this was allowed now, that's they would have done that.
I'm
Like you see how they've transitioned to the chair shot.
I'm hoping that Seth didn't injure Brock. So Brock he grabbed the Money in the Bank suitcase at one point and turned over as to like
Oh yeah,
protect it of sorts. And Seth swung at him and hit him across the body, but it looked like he hit Brock Lesnar's gigantic hand area, like the
hmm
forearm area. And Brock was leaving. It might have been makeup. I don't know if it's all kayfabe or
it
it's all
it
story.
looked legit.
It looked pretty legit, and I hope Brock didn't get injured because of that. Because at first, when I saw him hit him, I'm like, "Holy shit, he could break his hand!" Like, even though he's
Yeah,
wearing gloves,
yeah.
I'm like, he could break his hand with that chair, with those chair shots.
That's why I was surprised when he was like the ones on the back and the side I got, but yeah, when he was starting to roll and as one of the commentators said he's using as a shield, um, that was when I was like, yeah, like that does not look like the best way to take a chair shot.
No, it definitely wasn't. I wasn't. I was kind of like, "Oh shit, Brock's gonna get hurt," and he left with his holding his arm, and his arm looked kind of bruised. I don't know if that was all
I could see it
for
being
the story.
story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we haven't got an update on that. So
We could almost say like something like on Raw, you could see like them coming out and Heyman's like, you broke his arm or something, he's out of action for however long, and then at the next pay-per-view he cashes in, like rips it off, he's perfectly fine, good to go kind of thing. Like
hmm
there's like who knows what they're gonna do, but yeah, we'll
yeah,
see what happens going forward.
yeah. So like I said, probably like a B minus match. And this would be in comparison to this on a grand scale. If you were to compare it to the best matches of all time, it's definitely not. It's mid.
No,
It's average.
it was
It's
entertaining
C.
for what
It's
it
C
did.
at best.
It did its purpose. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
It set the stage for to go forward.
Yeah, yeah. But like I like grading them on its own scale of own pay per views as a
Right.
whole and try to go from there because there are going to be good moments and there are going to be bad moments. So I'm going to steal from What Culture and I'm going to give it an up. Let's see. The next match was Finn Balor versus Andrade Cien Almas, which they got rid of the Cien Almas. They like doing that on the main roster, which I'm kind of surprised they haven't done it with Finn. They just dropped it to Finn.
I think the Finn needs the full name.
Yeah. I don't know why they took Cien Almas away. It's Andrade 100 Lives. Um, Yeah,
Is
so
that
they
what that means?
yeah, cien almas
Oh,
or 100 souls.
that's pretty bad. Oh, I wonder if that goes to what you were telling me the other day with the character
La
change. Maybe
sombra.
that's why. Because he had a mask, you said,
Yeah, he had a mask
or
on.
is
He was
that
La
something
Sombra.
different? Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah, he
maybe
was.
not then.
He had a mask on. He was La Sombra. The Shadow. Yeah, no, but these guys. This is one of the matches where you wish it was extended. One of the better matches on the card for the Intercontinental Championship. Finn has a. I'm gonna grade it on his all-time walkouts, and it's not up there.
Hmm.
It's probably on the C minus, D plus of his demon walkouts. He's had some pretty legendary demon walkouts, and this wasn't one of them.
No, yeah, I was really excited when the music came, lights went down. I was like,
Hmm.
yeah, it was missing something to it. I don't know if it was the open stadium not being as dark. I don't know if there was maybe them trying for like I don't know like culture reasons,
Those weird,
cut back a little
those weird
bit.
dudes that were like this.
Yeah, and then like the title, I don't like. I haven't seen the demon too many times, so I don't know if that's normal for him to pick up the title mid walk or if he comes out with it.
Oh no, that was taken from one of his older ones, one of his
Oh, okay.
older walkouts. So in one of his older walkouts, which is pretty fucking badass, he comes out with a chainsaw and he's revving it, and he's like revving it towards the crowd, and his belt is all the way at the front by the ring. So he's revving it, revving it, revving it, and then he even plays it off good. He sees the title and kind of gets like entranced by it, drops the chainsaw and kind of makes his way to the title, like crawling towards it, and then grabs it. And
Okay.
he sells it really well, like holy
Yeah, because
shit, the belt.
that's kind of what they did here, but I wasn't sure if that was like a
They were trying to do that. Once
okay,
I saw it,
yeah,
I was like, that's why I'm grading it lower on the scale. That was cool. It's just I've seen it already on a better scale with a chainsaw. So like,
yeah, I wonder if it was one of those things where, like I said, they're trying to cut back to for the culture reasons, or the open sky couldn't get it as dark, and they're just trying to be like, okay, well, let's try and take something old and play it in this kind of like hype it up a little bit more. They could, I don't know, but yeah, I fucking love when they break with the demon character.
yeah, it was awesome that they did the demon character. I was watching Raw and SmackDown and they didn't advertise it, which I thought was awesome. They've done that before where they're like, the demon's gonna be, or like next pay per view, and then they have Finn cut
Oh,
a
like yeah,
promo
at
where he's
WrestleMania.
like, "Ah," and you're like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is this shit? You don't want to watch it. You're like, I'd rather not see the demon anymore.
Yeah, I'm good. I'll
Yeah,
pass
last
on
time,
this
yeah, last
one.
who'd he face? Brock
Lashley
Lashley.
at
Okay.
WrestleMania when Lashley went with the contacts for whatever reason,
Yeah.
and then they
No,
announced the demon ahead of time,
yeah, they
and
didn't need to do that.
they did it
If they did the
backwards.
demon, it would have been fine, but they didn't. They did not need to announce it.
Yeah,
So I don't
good
know how
match
much you.
though. I
Yeah,
liked
this is
it.
a fantastic match. For those people that don't know who Andrade is,
Oh yes,
definitely go check him out. He was fantastic in NXT. The problem was when he came into NXT, he came in. I'm guessing super cocky and with a high ego because he was a wrestler in. I'm gonna correct myself, Ryan. It wasn't AAA. It's CMLL. So it's Consejo
okay.
Mundial de Lucha Libre, which is a very very old organization for lucha libre in Mexico, alongside with AAA. I guess they're the competing organizations over there. And I've liked Cien Almas from the beginning, or Andrade from the beginning, because he's from Gomas Palacio, Durango. So he's from Durango. I'm from a different town in Durango, but Durango's pretty fucking big. It's one of the biggest states in Mexico. But we're from the same state, so I thought that was pretty cool. I've never seen like an athlete or a sports entertainer from Durango at this level.
Right.
He's in the top level. Like I said, he had a little bit of heat in NXT. I've never really seen his stuff besides some Finn Balor matches and some of his matches in New Japan, where he was masked and he was La Sombra.
The Shadow.
Yeah, the Shadow. So I would definitely go check him out if you can't find his CML or CMLL stuff. NXT. NXT eventually gave him a run as champion, and him and Gargano put on some awesome matches.
Was was he the one that they were talking about? I don't know if it was uh this past Royal Rumble or if they were talking about going forward that Vince wanted him to win, and like Vince was really high on this guy to win the belt.
Yeah, it was Cien Almas. He's a fantastic wrestler because he's not tiny, but he's not gigantic, but he's strong enough to pull off power moves, but he's light enough, and he's come from the style where he can pull off a lot of interesting ring and high rope stuff.
Yeah, he's almost like I don't know like what to compare him to like in a way because he's not like like you'll go like a guy like Shane who can fly,
Mm-hmm.
but he's more lean. Like this guy looks a little bit more built, so you wouldn't expect him to pull off some of the things that he does. Like I was really impressed watching. This was one of the first full matches that I saw of him on the weekend, and I was blown away. Like I said, like I messaged you right away. I'm like, I gotta see more of this guy. Like,
Yeah, I definitely check him out in NXT. Except the storyline where his wrestling is fantastic. There, it's just Selena Vega works great as a mouthpiece for him. He really needs her because he needs to learn English. That's the only thing I see him holding him back. But as long as he has Selena with him, which they've made accommodations. Like there was a whole thing where, so she's going out with Aleister Black, but she's Almas' manager, but Almas is going out with Charlotte Flair. So Almas got drafted to Raw, and Charlotte Flair got drafted to SmackDown, but Charlotte Flair made a fuss about it. So then they drafted Cien Almas to SmackDown. I don't know. It's all, and they separated Selena and Aleister Black because Aleister Black is on Raw. So they took Selena back to
oh,
SmackDown because
Andrade
she's
went
Andrade's manager.
manager.
Yeah, I think I got that right. It was a whole fuckery between all that.
It's just like so many like things intertwining there. It's like what the fuck?
It's like wait, but she's my manager in the WWE, so we have to keep that going. But then Charlotte Flair has so much power in the company right now because she's Charlotte Flair. She's like, well, I want Cien Almas on the same show as me so we can travel together.
It's almost like a soap opera, but mixing together kayfabe and real. It's it's like we're gonna throw a little bit of this, a little bit of that, just to keep you guys confused.
Yeah. So if you guys followed that little mini drama between real and fake realities, go ahead and check out Cien Almas. He's a fantastic wrestler. These guys put on a fantastic match. Like I said, one of the better matches. If I had to give it a grade, I'd probably give it a B+.
I would almost give it an A, but the only thing that's holding me back, and we've talked this ad nauseum all the time, the good matches are getting 10 minutes to 12 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this one should have been so much longer.
And I know we're going to talk about it in a few minutes, but Triple H once again booked himself to a 25-minute match. Plus those intros. It's like, what are we doing? Like, I love Triple H. I love Randy Orton. We can cut that back to 10 minutes. We can give these guys an extra 5 minutes to tell their stories a little bit more because it was on the verge of being really, really, really good, and it just didn't have the time to pull it off.
Yeah, this one definitely needed more breathing room in between big spots. It was too fast paced. We need a little bit more.
The ending.
Yeah,
the ending was just like boom, 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 boom.
You know what it is? We also didn't have Zelina on the outside. She wasn't allowed to be here.
That's right. Yeah.
She's always pulling a leg or yelling. She's fantastic at that. She's loud. Her voice cuts through. She's annoying as fuck. She's fantastic at what she does. She just wasn't allowed here. So it was just wrestling. And these two guys were just fast paced. Some of the older guys say it. Sometimes a little bit of breathing room and a little bit of waiting is good.
Yeah, like you build up that anticipation. Like you can, I mean, you go back and you watch some matches. They seem boring, but like the sleeper hold when people used to boo it, it was you could see the crowd like you could hear them like kind of getting into it, like cheering the guys on. But when they're going back and forth really fast and they're not stopping, the fans don't have the time to cheer for a guy. There you can only applaud each move that's happening. and then they can't get connected to a certain guy.
Like you mentioned, this should have been a 25-minute match with it starting the same and it gradually getting slower towards after the 11-minute mark towards the
Yeah,
25. It gradually gets slower and slower and slower compared to the first, and then that makes sense. That makes the match worth being 25 minutes, and it keeps you in there because you're like, holy shit, they gave it all in the beginning, and now they're gassing out towards the end, but they're giving it all they got. And we'll get to the old farts when we get to them.
but it's funny. I was gonna say I feel like the only guy who could pull off a 10-minute match with all his moves and fast paced, really slow, and then quick ending is Ultimate Warrior. And that's because he had no cardio
Mm-hmm.
and he had very little moveset. And he was the only guy that could actually pull off what they are expecting Finn and Andrade to do. And they can't do it. That's not their style.
They would have had so much better of a billing if they flipped the times of Triple H and Randy Orton and Finn and Andrade.
In
It makes
even
more
with
sense.
them, even take off 15 minutes and split. I would say split the minutes between Finn and this one
Yeah.
and Kofi and Ziggler.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Well, dude, this is an Intercontinental Championship match too. Like Randy Orton and Triple H are mad at each other.
yeah, and that's the storyline for the past 15 years, 14
Yeah.
years, something like
Yeah.
that. It's like ever since the Evolution thing broke
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
it's they went their separate ways, and then once in a while, the other one shows up and just like cheap shots.
I'm
It's like,
still
hey, that's
mad.
because 6 years ago, that's
Yeah.
because 12 years ago. It's like,
You
okay,
broke up Evolution.
yeah, it's like, oh, we get it, but it's just, and then I buried it. We'll get into it in a few minutes, but yeah, like this, they need to give these guys more minutes. Like that's at the end of the day, because these guys could probably put into NXT. Finn for the title against Kevin Owens. They gave them time, and Finn put on a masterpiece in that. So he's capable of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you got to give these guys time to do their craft.
Yeah. Agreed.
But
Any other thoughts on Finn and Andrade before we move on?
just now you know what? I gotta start watching more Andrade. I gotta go back and check out some early stuff. Anything I can find NXT, like you were saying, and
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure we could find some badass matches online too, because during the match they mentioned how these two guys had a history in or not NXT, sorry, New Japan.
New Japan, yeah,
So
something to look into.
next match after this was Shane McMahon with Drew McIntyre taking on Roman Reigns in a singles match that was didn't make okay, so I want to say it didn't make sense, but if you put it into all the matches that Shane McMahon has put himself into these previous 2-3 years, he's been really active recently, like these 3 years.
Right.
This is the storyline that made the most sense. In
Yeah.
terms of one Tuesday SmackDown when Roman Reigns was drafted to SmackDown, he went and punched McMahon, kind of like proclaiming it was his yard. So then after that, Shane comes out, and it makes sense because now he's defending his father's honor. And he's like, look, we fucking put food on your fucking family's table forever, and you're going to come out here and disrespect my father? They can do it a little bit more, I don't know, less arrogant and more serious, in my opinion. Because Shane McMahon is taking it like, he's taking a little bit more like he always does. But this one would have been a little bit better if they would have taken it serious and gone like, how dare you disrespect my father when we've put your family up on such a high pedestal forever, and you're going to come in here and disrespect us like that and say it's your yard and punch him in the face? That would have made more sense, and it's made more sense than shit they've been doing. It's just I don't want Shane in there. I don't want to see Shane, but I guess if we're gonna see him, this made a little bit more sense.
I almost want to. I've wanted to say this for a while now, but the Usos and Roman Reigns get the family together.
Why don't we? Yeah.
And I want to see if this is gonna be like a McMahon versus the I mean, I don't even know, just the Samoans, because the family tree has so many branches to it. But this would be the perfect way to set it up to get these guys together and have some big finale to the rivalry, but now you can keep these guys as a trio because I feel like Roman Reigns at this stage he still needs that supporting cast to kind of push him that little bit more, look make him like in the Shield.
Mm-hmm.
But
That would be a very interesting angle if they were to do it. I don't think they're gonna.
I
They've had
doubt
time.
it.
Yeah, they've had time to do it now.
It
I
makes sense, so they won't do it.
yeah, it makes 100% sense,
So,
dude. That'd be
instead of doing that,
awesome.
they're gonna give Shane and Hunter 50 minutes at SummerSlam instead.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. So right off the bat, Drew McIntyre fucks with Roman Reigns. Shane McMahon gets the upper hand and is beating up Roman Reigns for most of the time. To up, like he's trying to get the cover a couple times, kicks out. Then Roman gains a little bit of steam, but Roman goes for the Superman punch, which causes Shane to fall into the referee and go
Yeah.
smack the referee and distract him for a second. And McIntyre comes in with a very beautiful Claymore kick. I like his finisher. It seems like it hurts. It seems like it really
Yeah.
hurts. And he lands a Claymore kick. Shane gets the pin on Roman Reigns and gets the victory. And I think they're going to continue this feud if they're smart, and which they probably won't because it makes sense to continue this feud out of all the other ones that they had with Shane McMahon. This is the one to continue, and they're not going to watch.
Yeah.
Like the Miz one kind of was getting good towards the end, and then they kind of like faded it out. And I don't know, they just gave Shane all the wins. They never
Yeah.
gave Miz any wins. Like even yesterday or Monday, I don't remember which day it was. We had Shane call a match versus the Miz after the Miz just got pinned, and then he pinned them again, and he's like, I don't know. It was.
Well, the weird thing is too is that they keep
Tuesday.
on pushing the Miz as being the superstar, but they keep on having him lose to Shane.
Yeah.
Like, don't if he's gonna be losing over and over and over again, don't push him,
Mm-hmm.
or let him beat Shane at once, or like it's this match I did find it kind of entertaining. It gave me like that feeling of like the old school style, where like the old guy with the protege, if you would. I know he's not really a protege, but taking on like the big guy, and you expect at that finish that Roman Reigns is gonna kick out, and it's gonna be like, what does Shane have to do to put him away? But no, they swerved it on you, and they gave the heel the win. And that's the only reason why I agree with you that they're going to continue the angles. They gave the heel the win. Like, you don't give the heel the win this early in a rivalry and call it a day, because then now they have the baby face is going to crawl back, and he'll probably have to end up taking on Vince McMahon at SummerSlam, and then in order to get a title shot or something. Like, that's going to be what it takes. Like,
Let's see. I don't, like I said, I don't want to see Shane really in anything else. But if they're gonna continue any rivalry, this one would be the one. I'm not saying do it, but it makes sense.
I'm not mad if Shane switches roles and he takes on the managerial role for
McIntyre.
McIntyre,
Mm-hmm.
because McIntyre and Roman Reigns had a pretty decent match at WrestleMania. It wasn't lights out, but it did what it had to do. It kind of built some momentum. I'd like to see that continue if they can do it, but yeah, like with Shane in the picture now, it's kind of a little murky. And I hate to see McIntyre just being wasted on pay per view.
This is
You could like at least put him. Like, I don't even think he was in the battle royale. Like, I think he was his only usage was as the manager.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing?
Give this match a D.
Yeah, it was. It had a lot of good moments. I think the ending to me kind of saved it, and that's like what it could. But yeah, not Shane's best by any stretch, especially after that Miz rivalry. Like,
Next match after that was Lars Sullivan taking on the Lucha House Party, Gran Metalik, Kalisto, and Lince Dorado. I don't know why they did not let them have the Lucha House Party rules where they all get to fucking just come in and out and pretty much don't have to tag.
Oh,
especially
okay.
against Lars Sullivan. They were doing that against I forgot who, where they were fucking them over, and it was like, what the hell? They don't have to tag, and they don't have to, like. But this time again, it made sense to do it here, and they didn't. I forgot exactly how
I
Lars
don't.
Sullivan won. It was by
It
disqualification.
was a DQ win. I don't remember. I feel like it was because they tried to lucha rules. I feel like they were all in there at one point,
Mm-hmm.
and the referee just called for the bell. I
See,
could be very wrong. I don't remember how this one ends.
they had that they had that lucha rule, and they completely kind of just like abandon it here when it makes sense to have it. It's so stupid. WWE is dumb.
Yeah, I don't know why. I feel like there was just multiple guys in the ring at one point, but like I said, I could be very wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Lars Sullivan needs more. Every time I've seen him, he's been against the Luchas.
So
I
did you hear what
I'm,
happened with Lars?
is it he was supposed to have that thing with Cena, but had like an anxiety attack or
Yeah,
something?
yeah. So
Yeah,
I don't know if they've kind of pulled the brakes on him a little bit or put the brakes on him a little bit.
I'm not really sold on him just yet. I feel like he's.
Amish?
I was gonna say, do you remember Gene Snitsky?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He reminds me of him in a way, like just like that big guy, destructive guy, but I like he doesn't have that charisma. He doesn't have that it factor. Bless you.
Thank you.
Uh, I don't know who you can put him with. I don't even know if putting him with Cena because like Cena went with Umaga and Kali and he couldn't put them over. I feel like he's just one of those guys that kind of bounces around the mid card. They maybe put him in the title picture where he gets defeated and then he just bounces out. I don't know. I'm just not sold on him.
Yeah. I get you. I'm not sold on him either.
Hi, you. What's up?
Connor, come on, honey, take her bed.
Okay, bye, Connor.
Conor McGregor.
Come here. You want to show Rafa what you're wearing? What do you got on?
Ah, the turtles. Awesome.
What? Yeah, the turtles. That's right. You want to say hi too? And here's the crew.
What's going
There
on,
they
guys?
are.
The kiddos. For
The
those of you
monkeys.
guys on YouTube, go ahead and check out the YouTube. You can check out Ryan's kids. They're
Okay.
cute ass little kids. How old are they?
Carla just turned 5 and Connor is 2.
Nice.
Right. Love you, buddy.
What were they watching earlier?
I have no idea. Probably Paw Patrol or just random YouTube videos. All the summer movies that are coming out.
My niece was one of my younger nieces. She was word for word. What is it? Coco, whatever the fucking movie is.
Oh, I love that movie.
I haven't seen it yet. I should check it
It's
out.
good.
I should
I
check
think
it out.
after I watched it, like, yeah, I feel like I know more about Mexico than like 90% of America.
I haven't seen it, but I heard it's pretty good.
It's good. I mean, for me, like having to watch like Frozen and Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast over and over and over again. Whenever I get into a movie, I'm like, this is an Academy Award winner. It's like top 1 movie of all time. Like,
I'm gonna have to check it out though. I've heard a lot of good things about it.
it's really good. The animation's good. The story's good. I'm not sure, like obviously the Mexican heritage portions, but I can imagine that it's pretty accurate to certain cultural beliefs in that.
Yeah, so little tangent. It's weird. So my family is literally from the mountains on a farm, and they were very not secluded. It's just they didn't move out a lot. When they went to the city, they got their supplies and came back to the mountains and did their work. You know, tended to the land, milked their cows. Just they live workers' lives. They both did, and they're both like from the same area. So they really don't know about like the Aztec heritage. They don't do Dia de los Muertos. They're Catholic.
Okay.
My parents are Catholic, so they do the whole Catholicism thing, and that other stuff was kind of just dropped because their part of Mexico was, I guess, I don't know who came and fucking made it all Catholic and shit.
Probably the Spanish, no?
Yeah, whoever came and raped our people or my people.
Cortez. I think that's a name I've heard somewhere before.
Yeah, but like other parts of Mexico, they're very cultural with their like Mayan backgrounds or native backgrounds.
Right.
I wish, not wish, I can do more history myself. I just haven't. But my parents, they don't know about that shit. They're like, what? Jesus Christ? You want to know about Jesus?
I can't trace 25% of my family's history because of the English.
uh,
As I was telling you the other day, my grandfather, my maternal grandfather was from Bray.
mhm.
That's why I thought it was so funny that Finn's fighting the guy. It's like my guy, your guy.
Yeah.
But when my,
I can't trace my, like, I know I can trace his back as my parents, grandparents. After that, it'll get pretty
uh,
hard. After,
yeah, like
yeah.
oh, like I guarantee, like my dad's parents, no problem. My maternal grandmother, no problem. Yep. When my maternal grandfather, his family, when he was young, was planning to come to Canada, they went to England, and all the history between Ireland and England. There was some controversy with his papers,
Uh,
and so the family's papers, and so they had to stay there. They had to put blah blah blah. They had to fix them all up, and they changed the spelling of my family's last name from Conlon with Lan to Lon,
mm,
which is English, because that way now they look back, they're English citizens, they're not Irish, because they were, everything's going on. Um, so we've tried doing it, but like the papers literally start at that point. Like I mean, I'm sure if I were to pay like thousands of dollars, I could go back farther. But
yeah, I don't think there's a way for me to go past my dad's grandparents because they don't keep records. It's really hard to keep records with. Like I said,
well,
they're
especially if it's like
literally on a
farms on a
farm
mountain.
in the mountains. Like
Yeah, it's so
it was,
wild.
dude. I used to be in the back of the truck holding on for dear life because it was just like
Oh my god.
it was just like they've since the first time I went, the first couple of years it was like that. Since then they've put actual pavement down, but that pavement has gotten fucked up because they
Right.
do logging up there. So it's giant trucks and
Oh
Mexico's
yeah.
infrastructure for paying for fucking potholes isn't the best. It's not. You can see how it is in fucking the United States. Imagine
I
how it
was
is.
gonna say, I was gonna say it's probably about on as equal levels as Canada, because we got some nasty ones.
I'm a guess it's probably worse. They're pretty
Yeah.
bad.
Well, especially if it's like up at the mountain ranges, they're probably
Yeah.
like not the biggest concern, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So tracing shit is pretty hard for me. I'm 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 thinking of doing the 23andMe just so I can know like exactly what percentages.
You're gonna get some like 35% Japanese and be like, like
Dude,
what?
I'm not gonna lie. I think I have like Middle Eastern blood from in the Chaires family. Maybe some French in there.
I think
Uh,
I'm pretty sure I have some Italian somewhere down the line, because I'm way too interested in it. I feel like something is literally in my DNA.
there's a lot of Spanish from my mom's side. My mom's side is very Spanish. But then again, she was mixed too. But her Spanish comes out. That's why I'm saying I have a lot of Spanish. Like the Spanish on her side of the family comes out, and the native on my dad's side of the family comes out. Whatever that means, because native around that time could mean anything. They like native to the land, but there was a lot of mixtures of
Oh, I see what you
non-Spanish.
mean.
Yeah, before then, like that's why it's hard to trace Native Americans, even to give them the paper or like to do the 23andMe and be like, oh, well, you have this much Native American blood, because Native Americans, that's not a race. It's the Native American are made of all the different other fucking races that came to the United States, and
Right.
that's what adapted from that. And it's like it's weird. It's
Yeah,
weird.
they're not telling you like a Ojibwe,
Hmm.
Cree, Blackfoot. They're just saying native. Like if you have like, although like in that native culture, they do know there are
Hmm.
certain tribes. Like that's always known. But yeah, if you do like one of those generic tests, it's
Because
so basic.
like people from India, why do you think they call them Indians? Because they looked
Oh yeah,
Indian, but there is similarities in the race of people that are there. Like they do descend from Indian descent, and like Inuits as well. They do have some
yeah.
descendant from there. It's just that's how far they made it and adapted to that part, and like that's why it's so weird for Native Americans to get their 23andMe, like they'll come up as a bunch of other shit, but not Native American. It's not gonna say Native American. It's gonna
Right.
say whatever was in that area of your tribe that settled there.
It was just so
Eventually,
wild.
eventually it was just like, oh well, now it's just Irish people are here, not just English people are here, not just French people are here, not
Yeah.
just Spanish, not
And you think about even like recent history of like the 1800s, like when people were starting to move out west, like how many different cultures were going through there at a time, like
yeah,
whoo.
yeah. Yeah, mine's a little bit less than that because I luckily my parents come from Mexico, so like, but it's like I said, my mom's more Spanish and my dad's more whatever was native from that area of Mexico of the mountains. But enough about the mountains of Mexico.
The Mexican mountain people.
Yeah. If I give Shane McMahon versus Roman Reigns a D, I'd probably give this one a D minus.
Yeah, I don't even. I feel like like this was just something to split things up, let people go to the bathroom,
100%.
grab a Coke. That's about it because the next one is basically the main event on the show.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, so the next match is Randy Orton versus Triple H, the longest match of the card, 25 minutes.
did it go longer than the Battle Royale?
I don't know the time for the Battle Royale, but yeah, it did.
It
It
did.
had
Oh,
to have. I've seen this pay-per-view like 2 or 3 times now, just because
right.
I wanted to get it locked down for when we talked about it today.
Yeah.
The 51 man Battle Royale wasn't that long compared to this match. This match was long. And
But
if
they had
they
a lot of those slow builds though too. Like I feel
yeah,
like I could felt it drag out.
if they cut this match in half, it would have been I would have given it a B plus B. Due to the length, I'd probably give it a C. I thought like they for
It
what they do, they needed to shorten this match up because they pulled out all their tricks. They were extending it as much as they could because
yeah.
they're veterans. They know what they're doing. But we needed maybe 10 minutes of this match.
See, I was gonna say that back SummerSlam '04 when Randy Orton won the title, and the next night kicked out of Evolution, and that rivalry was like started. So you're going back almost like for the sake of 2 months, you're going back 15 years. Those matches that they had were going 25 minutes, 35 minutes. They were amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they split up. Things go other ways. WrestleMania 25, they bring it back. And they do another match. It's like, okay, we kind of saw this already. I don't know why we're doing this again. And then I'm going to say it was maybe 2012, maybe 2011. They bring it back again. And it's like, okay, what are we doing here? And then they team up again, form the Authority, the Re-Evolution. And like, okay, they're together. Everything's going great. And then we get this. And it's like, okay, guys, like, enough is enough. Like, I can't do this anymore. I'm sorry.
Dude,
It's
just
like,
face Batista. We need Randy Orton next.
but so what? Ric Flair at SummerSlam? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he fought
before
Undertaker.
dies.
Remember, he fought Undertaker at the last time ever, the end of an era. One more time, it's like, okay, we get it. Just like I understand that Triple H can't go out there and fight Finn Balor. It's not gonna work. But do we? Like, I don't need to see. Like, I just don't need to see him on the card. I don't. I
Not for
like
25 minutes.
no. Like, I'm cool if he makes his like appearance twice a year, like Undertaker does.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. Like, do your COO stuff, do your NXT stuff. That's awesome. Pop in, pop out, but like, it just drives me insane when WrestleMania he gets 25 minutes, and we talked about the guys needing more time. Here it's 25 minutes. We're talking about guys getting more time. And you're wondering why AEW is suddenly a big threat. It's because of things like this. That's why they're a threat. That's why Dean Ambrose isn't with the company anymore.
I don't want to forget to make this point or grade this pay-per-view. I'm gonna grade this pay-per-view on its own by itself. I'm giving it a B, probably B minus.
I was gonna say C.
C. I could see a C.
It was very average. It wasn't. It had highlights, but it wasn't overall top to bottom something I would put on again just for fun and games.
But if I'm going to hold WWE to their standards, and this is just because of them, you can't compare this pay-per-view to a WrestleMania caliber pay-per-view and then give me this and not expect me to complain. This is a F. This is on the lower end of, this is below average of a WrestleMania. And this is because WWE put it on that scale. I did.
Well,
If you give it to me, I'd give it a B minus, a C. Like a C's good. A
yeah.
C's a good pay per view to watch.
No, and I don't know if like the Saudi Arabia TV. I don't know how often these guys get to see these events. If they only get pay-per-views, I don't know what it's like. If this was a WrestleMania style thing because they don't see it often, so for them it's WrestleMania, go for it. But yeah, to the everyone else that sees it on a regular basis, let's not play around here. Let's not play jokes because like you can't give me Undertaker Goldberg in the main event and expect me just to like I pay for the network, so I get this as an included thing. If this was like on like call and order with a kind of thing, I would yeah, that's all good.
Yeah. WWE don't do that shit. I don't care. Oh, this is like this is like a WrestleMania. Like no, then put on a WrestleMania caliber fucking show, and
Yeah.
don't give me Goldberg versus Undertaker in the main event, and then
And have Triple H getting 25 minutes.
yeah,
You have Finn and Andrade getting 10. You have Kofi getting 10 to Ziggler. You have like an amazing story in Mansoor getting wasted with the
no
battle royale in a way.
no
I feel
tag
like
team championship matches.
yeah, like I feel like they had so many amazing storylines they could have worked with, so much time they had to play with, and they just went for the cheap pops.
No USA championship.
That's right, yeah, because Joe was in the Royal.
Yeah, the
I didn't even
24 one
realize
got
that. I
defended
didn't even
right in there.
realize that that Ray lost the belt. I
Yeah,
completely
his
missed
shoulder.
that one.
Yeah, no, he just gave it back. He's like, here you go, my shoulder's
Oh,
fucked
did
up.
he?
Yeah, she fucked up his shoulder, so he gave it back on a
Oh,
SmackDown or Raw. I think it was SmackDown.
SmackDown, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, the 24/7 title was twice was defended.
Yeah, it was.
That was as bad as that title is. That was almost the highlight for me. Was R-Truth's little comedic routine. Like that was so like to me. I was like, that's great. I love that.
That's the R-Truth title, dude. They're gonna keep it on him.
They better.
Let's see. Anything else on this match, Ryan? Before we move on from Randy Orton, Triple H.
I don't know what to say. Like there's like it was every match I've ever seen them do, just in a different stadium. Like
Yeah.
they had like their traditional wrestling match. They had their oh my god, he's slamming him on the table 4 times in a row scene. They had the kick out of the pedigree, the reversal of this, the reversal of that, quick RKO for the win. They've done that story for 15 years now. It's nothing new. It wasn't necessary to be told. This does not propel Randy Orton to face Kofi Kingston. This doesn't do anything to help either guy. It's just
No. Triple H is back to being Triple H and CEO, and Randy Orton is Randy Orton. Who knows what he's gonna do?
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Triple H the finishing sequence. Triple H slams Randy Orton 3 times on the desk on the outside. Randy Orton gets inside. I think Triple H throws him in there, and then Triple H goes inside, but Randy Orton hits him with the diamond cutter, or as people like to call it, the RKO, and gets the 3 count. They had both kicked out of each other's finisher once, so
They could have at least done an RKO out of nowhere.
I like
they tried to sell it, but like I thought when Triple H hit the pedigree on the reversal when he went for the boot and Triple H caught it, I thought there he was gonna lift the arm, and Orton was gonna swip around and land it there and end it, but that would have only been a 12-minute match, so they had to.
I thought they were going to end it when Triple H went for the sunset flip or the roll up, and then Orton got out of it, and then Triple H stood up. But as Triple H stood up, Orton was already up and in position to hit him with the RKO, and he hit him with the RKO out of the roll up. And I thought they were going to finish it there, but nope, it was a kick out. They ended it on Triple H coming in from slamming Orton 3 times on the tables.
But and it was even weird. Like he's in the turnbuckle, and he runs at him, and he just literally just ran into an RKO.
Yeah.
It's like what was like I don't know. Like
I think
the best part of this match was when Triple H was just like lounging in the corner and just gave the suck it. Like
yeah.
He they let him do it. Congratulations.
That was the
like,
crowd pop.
Like you can't put a woman in there, but you can tell another man to suck it.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
Yeah. So next match was Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley. Two big dudes in what, the shortest match? No, not the shortest match. Lars Sullivan was, but one
Yeah.
of the shorter matches. This should have been longer than the Lars
Yep.
Sullivan match.
This here,
Yeah.
I give this A+.
Oh yeah, they did this
Like,
perfect. They
they two big guys and just let them do big guy stuff. Don't be stupid. Don't get chairs involved. Don't get paid. Just let them just beat each other's brains out and just finish it clean. 1, 2, 3.
tried to outstrong each other.
That's when they did the feats of strength. I was
Yeah.
oh, let's do it.
Yeah, because we had them arm wrestle too. For those people that are not watching Raw or SmackDown, they were arm wrestling before this, and they were going at it back and forth. I think Strowman won, and then Lashley hit him with some chalk afterward. So then this is why we got this match, and it's just two big guys going at it, shoulder tackling, power slamming each other. What
That's
more
it.
can you ask for?
Yeah, and it's one of those matches where you can imagine them sitting backstage and saying like, "All right, here's what we're gonna do," and then the booker would come in and be like, "No, no, 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 like do this and this and this," and you just destroyed a match that could have been like amazing. This thing they just kept it simple. They didn't screw with it. Just like I said, just use your brawn and just for I guess not for lack of a better term, right? Just use the muscle, use your mass, just use everything, and like even like when they talked about Braun Strowman in the I keep saying feats of strength, but that's Seinfeld. The test of strength when he's got the advantage of height, and how Lashley kind of got the little cheap shot in there to drop him down. Like it was like they told the story perfectly. I'm in. If they're not going to give Strowman the title, I want to see him work with Lashley for a little bit longer. Like I'm down on this one.
Have one of them win the 24 title, and then put a little bit of legitimacy in that.
Yeah,
shit.
there you go. Have those guys battle it out in random spots throughout the arena, like the old hardcore title kind of stuff.
If they put it on Lashley or Strowman, and they have everyone attack them, and you actually have these guys not run, but just go run, fuck them up, and then they actually have to have a legit match to defend it.
You know what? That's how you get Lars Sullivan over. That's how you get Lars over.
Dude, I like the concept of this 24 title thing if they focus in on the big guys a little bit. Just as, what this is WWE. Let them focus in on it and have a go with it like they're doing with they're giving it right now to R-Truth and what's his name took it from him?
Jinder Mahal.
Jinder Mahal, yeah. So they're they're kind of swapping it.
It's like you and Jeff have both said it. Like this title is there to the guys on the fence about staying with WWE. Here's the title. It's not the best title, but here's a piece of gold for around your waist.
Yeah.
And they might be like, hey, you know what? Maybe they can build something from this, and they sign the contract. Yeah, and that's kind of is what it's looking like with some of these guys.
Well, right now they have the U.S. title on Samoa Joe, which is fantastic in my opinion. I know they put it on Ray. I like Ray, but they need to keep it on Samoa for a while. And the thing they cut on, I think it was on Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday. They had a bunch of good guys come out and kind of contest for Braun, Lashley. Oh, actually, you know what? Don't put them in the 24 title thing. Keep them in the U.S. title scene, which is what they seem to be putting them in. Ricochet came out, The Miz came out, and they all had like a 6-on-6 tag team thing. And if they continue some kind of feud with those 6 guys in the mix, like they used to do with Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit,
right? Yeah.
Where they used to have that mix.
They don't necessarily have to have long title reigns. You can have like one guy have a long one, you get a short one, but let these guys intermingle. Like like you said, you put these two guys together. This guy does his thing, and then switch it up. And by the time you can swip around to do a replay of Volume 2, if you would, it's forgotten about because there've been so many other good matches in between.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have a lot of talent to play with, and they just need the good writing, and they can keep some talent from switching over to AEW. But I think it's inevitable that we're going to see a lot of talent go over to AEW. I think there's just more for them to chew on over there.
Mm-hmm.
Money and promotional wise for themselves. I don't think there's anything else to say on this match besides great booking, great story, and great
Matt, the
wrestling.
the best match on the card
Mm-hmm.
by a mile and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Like it kicked everything else's ass, and
Uh,
and it's only because I'm gonna say Finn, Andrade, and Kofi and Ziggler didn't get time.
yeah.
That's the only reason why I say that.
Next match was Kofi Kingston, champion, versus Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler's coming off super whiny right now for those people not watching. It should have been him. It should have been him. That's his thing.
I like it. It kind of reminds me of like old school Jericho. And
I would like it if they would go somewhere, but it's not going to go anywhere. I don't. I hope they put it on him, but I don't think so.
I don't know where they're going with AJ Styles. Or no,
Yeah.
AJ Styles is on Raw now. So no, I don't know what's going to be happening. Dan O'Brien's not necessarily 100%, but you put these guys back and forth, maybe drop the title a couple
Kofi,
times.
Dolph, KO, Sammy, all in this
Yeah.
mix. There's potential there.
And hell, after you build up Samoa Joe a little bit, toss him in there also. Like they have, like you were just saying with like those guys that you just kind of like switch it up every now and then. They got a lot of potential here. Like they don't bring in some like Randy Orton to steal the title for 8 months or something. Like even Jinder Mahal, I didn't mind him as a champion
I
in
didn't
that
either.
first run.
I didn't
I
either.
thought he was a good old school heel that just he didn't get the respect because he got the title so quick. But this match I saw like so much like so fun, and the story of how like with the finish leads up to the rematch, like where like Dolph called out at the end of the match. Awesome action, top to bottom. I just wish they had more time to like when they took their breaks after like a high risk move. Like when Kofi flew from the outside and like hurt his back, and they kind of laid there. Normally they would have probably gotten about 2 minutes or like a long 10 count. Dolph would roll in, roll back out, kind of thing. Here it was, oh my back, stand up and just get through. It's like that's where we're talking about the timing. Like you didn't have enough time to sell that injury.
Yeah, exactly. Let them sell this shit, or else it's not believable. Did it really hurt that he got slammed, or is it just
I mean,
acrobatics? Do they know how to receive these slams, or is it real? Like, are we trying to
Yeah.
sell realness, or what are we doing here?
Yeah, if you go back and watch Jeff Hardy jump off the top rope into the ring sometimes and miss, he's out for like 4 or 5 minutes. Here, Kofi went from the ring, like from the top rope to the outside, didn't catch all of Ziggler, hurt his back terribly, and in like 10 seconds he was up and moving again. So, okay, like whatever. Like, I get it, I guess.
I'd probably give this one B minus, just because there's no time. There was no time to tell more of a story, so they rush it. They had a good match. More time is needed. Dolph Ziggler kicks Xavier Woods in the face, throws Kofi in. I forgot exactly where and when Xavier went in, but it was he kicks Dolph Ziggler.
The referee, I don't care if he was knocked out or distracted, but
Did he go
Kofi's
in the ring?
Kofi, no, he was on the apron.
Okay.
And Dolph turned, he got kicked, turned around, took the Trouble in Paradise and the 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I mean,
This is a 10-minute match for a WWE Championship match.
Going off what you
WWE's
said-
the most prestigious title we should have on the WWE, the one with the most lineage, is 10 minutes on this fucking card.
based off what you said with the whole WrestleMania thing, I think you're right. And like just talking about this match, if I look at this match as standalone pay-per-view, like a No Mercy, a Great Balls of Fire, an Elimination Chamber, just it's a pay-per-view. This match was really good. But yeah, like, you're hyping this up to be like this grand event, and I'm expecting everything, and I'm like, we need more.
Yeah.
Like I looking at it from the way that you speak, how you had said that, I definitely agree with, especially like with these matches.
Dude, like WWE Championship match, 10 minutes. What are we doing here? There's no selling. There's non-believing here.
I mean, if you let me like, You go Seth Rollins at 11, Finn Balor at 11, and Kofi Kingston at 10. So those 3 matches got 6 minutes more than Triple H and Randy Orton. 6 minutes more, 3 matches over a non-title story that we've heard for 15 years.
And in the story that could have been told in 10 minutes.
Could have been told in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, Triple H could have walked down, did the suck it, got an RKO'd, and called it a night. Collect your paycheck. Like, it's driving me insane. Like, it's, I don't want to steal your thunder, but like the afterwards when Kofi's celebrating with Woods, doing the thing around the ring, blah blah blah, signing the autographs. I found it weird that they were really drawing out the exit until they did the old school backstage interview with the loser, and the whiny Dolph. This is what I love. I love the way he sold this. He's like, he's the bad guy. He cheated, and he's calling Kofi the coward. I love it. That's what I want to see. Like, that's the good stuff. And then say, I want no interference, a cage match. Yes, let's do it. Let's give these guys 25 minutes in the cage to like figure something out, because these guys could probably put on a phenomenal match.
I hope it leads somewhere.
I really do.
It's just, it seemed a little bit thrown together because Kevin Owens didn't want to come. It seemed like Kevin Owens and Kofi were going to have a feud, and then Kevin Owens didn't want to come to Saudi Arabia because Sami Zayn wasn't allowed to. So, so Dolph Ziggler to me was like, why are they just throwing Dolph in there? Like,
and this could be something that I props to KO for standing up for his friend and all that. But this could be like not a career killer, but it could be a push killer, because they could easily. I could see them putting the strap on Dolph even for a month, just to say to Kevin, that could have been you. But
to be honest, they're gonna have
they've done that. They've done that in the past.
Like, now that AEW is the thing, I think they're gonna have to start treating Ziggler a little bit better. I don't think they've treated him with the respect. Yeah, the respect they deserve. They're gonna leave. They're guys that can sell somewhere else easily if not treated right here.
Yeah.
And I don't know if WWE sees that, because they need someone else in charge. Vince McMahon has done a great thing, but he's out of touch. He's 70-something years old. Isn't he 80 or something?
I don't know if he's 80. I think he's in his mid to late 70s for sure, but I don't think he's 80.
He's too old to be in touch with the demographic that he's trying to sell to.
Well, and you see when he has, like, what Hunter's doing at NXT, get Hunter out of the ring, let Vince, like, you've done a phenomenal thing, just go. You're not retired. You can pop in, you can travel. Let Hunter just take control of all the basic operations. Let him, because he's showing that he has what it takes. And you can use Hunter also now in that Mr. McMahon kind of role where he's, I know they've already done the Authority, but they don't have to do necessarily Authority. They can just have, like, someone's pissed off with where their character's going, because it's a known fact that Triple H is in charge of all these things. Call them out. They have a feud. It fixes a lot of different things.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to have a 24/7 title.
Yeah. Yeah, I got nothing else on this match.
No, I thought it was great. Wish I had more time. I hope they continue on. I hope they don't screw Dolph over by just saying, this was a one-off thing, because they built up a good story going into it. They told a good story with what they had to tell. I wish I just hope they go forward with it. Solid match.
Next up was the 51-man Battle Royal.
Although they kept on referring to it as the 50-man the whole time. So confusing.
Not only was the name confusing, but the whole match was confusing up until they eliminated 40 of the participants. The match was too crowded. It was too ridiculous in the beginning.
I hated I was expecting the Royal Rumble, 2 guys in one, boom, 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 30-second, 45-second intervals. When they just brought everybody out, it was just like, no, this, like, 20-man, awesome. 50-man, what are we doing?
Knowing it was such a big battle royal, let's do a new type of thing. and you can still have all 50 men in it, but I don't know. Let's do like a 5-on-5 tag team match where you bracket them off, and like they're up to the
Yeah.
build up. So you build them up in a bracket. You get me? And you release waves of 10, 5 waves of 10. The first 10 start, and then 5 minutes later, a second wave starts.
And you
5 minutes later, the third wave starts. Because
and you know what you could do is the old I don't know if they still do it now, but back in the early 2000s, every Royal Rumble on Raw and SmackDown, they'd have someone walk in, they'd be turning the big crank, they'd reach and pull out the ball, get their number. You find out what wave you're in. You could sell these things. That way you can create storylines. That way, wave one might have, say, Authors of Pain, Heavy Machinery, the Viking
dude,
Raiders.
You do
Like,
three waves. You do 20 men started off a normal battle royal, 20 men in the ring, and you let it go on for 5 seems too short.
I'd say 5 to 7.
Yeah, I would say like around 7. And the ring gets cleaned out a bunch, and you let a second wave of 20 just come out. You don't have to walk them out or nothing. They just all walk out, all 20. A second battle royal walks out, pretty much. And
Actually, you know what you
40.
do? You just have the first 10 get eliminated, and like they have an announcer saying so and so's eliminated, one, or somebody keeping track, and after the 10th person's gone, then you have another 20-man battle royale.
Okay,
Then
so
10 more eliminated, and but you make sure like there's a tracker somewhere on a screen or with the announcer so that no one gets confused, and say the next person is number 10.
actually,
And then,
so they could have
and
done
then
like
they could
they could have done this.
there's a
where
lot of
it
different
made-
things
yeah,
that they could
yeah.
have done.
Because I was just thinking of one right now where they could have done it where they had 20 starting off, and then kind of like taking from yours where they eliminate one or as many as get eliminated. That's how many start coming out. Yeah.
Yeah, like they could, like there's a lot of different ways you could have done it.
Dude, we're not
They
even fucking getting paid, and we're coming out with better ideas with these idiots.
Well, even the commentators, I don't know if they were supposed to say it or if it was an actual shop. I forget who said it, but they said like there's so many competitors in there that you can't throw a punch without throwing an elbow because there was so many I feel like okay, at first I thought Elias was gonna get thrown in and just get tossed right out, but when they all dogpiled him and then they all split off, next thing you know, it's just and it's like I'd say, okay, let's be real right now. 30 seconds in, 8 guys gone. What purpose did they serve? They didn't throw a punch. All they did was walk down the ramp, collect a paycheck. That's all they did. Like you literally paid a guy. You paid a guy to go to the ring to get thrown out. He didn't
Joe.
have. Yeah.
United States champion.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
to the ring, got thrown out. Okay, I know he was in there for a little bit.
At least he went to the final 6, but
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of developed something with Ricochet and Mustafa.
Yeah.
But so many guys were just they were at one point they were saying Cruz, not Apollo. Yeah, Apollo Cruz, and they're saying Apollo Cruz. I'm looking around the ring. I'm like, Apollo Cruz, No Way Jose, Shelton Benjamin. I'm like, we're missing a black guy. I'm like, what's going? I'm like, where's Titus O'Neil? I'm like, I didn't even see him get eliminated. And then he, of course, he slips up from underneath the ring. But there was so much chaos happening that I lost track of who was even in the ring. Like at one point, there was one member of Heavy Machinery left. I thought he was eliminated like 5 minutes earlier. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, it was really confusing at points. There's too many people at once. They should have hybrid this battle royal.
And Xavier Woods, like, I love Xavier Woods. He was just out. I don't know if you caught it when he was walking down the entrance ramp to the ring. As he's walking by the camera, he's like, "I was just out here. I left. Now I'm back again."
Yeah.
I was like, "What? Like, yeah, it's so true. Like, why did he even leave? You could just saved him some walking time. Let him stay in the ring. Like, these."
I wonder. I was thinking like, What if they did the WCW thing, but you remember World War III where they had
I
three
was
rings?
I was gonna suggest that,
Yeah.
but I got confused with World War III and War Games. I'm just saying I don't want to have cages,
Yeah.
and I couldn't think of what the other one was called. But yeah, that would have been cool. And then you have a triple threat match at the end.
Yeah.
You could imagine Ricochet, Ali, and Mansoor fighting.
Oof.
Imagine
Oof.
that as your final match. Give those guys 10 minutes. I don't
Mhm.
care. They just had a Royal Rumble. Give them 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So you have Mansoor win the 50-man battle royal. I think it would have been smarter to have him, like you said, in a match, not in a match where it's fucking 51 dudes and then he doesn't really get to showcase his things or his moves.
yeah. Give him a match against like
United
Ricochet
States champion.
yeah. You see, I was
Samoa
thinking
Joe.
that. I was thinking that, but you can't give him the win because
No,
that'd be
you can't give him that.
non-title.
Yeah.
When it went down to the last 6 and I saw him in there, I was like, they're going 100% to give him the win. They can't not give him the win.
Mhm.
And I'm like, he's not gonna win. I'm like, I prayed to him, I'm like, this is so WWE today to not give it. They're gonna give it to. And then when it went to Elias, I'm like, they're not giving it to Elias. Like, Elias is the most useless person on camera. Like, he's like Road Dogg that doesn't wrestle.
I like Elias. He's a good heel.
Like, he has great heel potential, but like he doesn't.
They don't use
do
him
any-
right. Yeah.
They don't. Yeah, exactly. Like,
He's
like
gonna
Road
be.
Dogg,
He's gonna be.
he'll be AEW champ in 2 years.
He'll be Shane McMahon's bitch in the future. He's already Drew McIntyre's there. He'll take Elias.
Well, it's I don't know if you remember like the early New Age Outlaws, but Road Dogg would come out like when Green Bay beat San Francisco in the playoffs, and they had the Royal Rumble, I think it was, or a Monday Night Raw in San Francisco, and Road Dogg came out in a Brett Favre jersey and talked so much shit to the San Francisco fan. That Elias does that exactly, except they don't give him the in-ring chance to match the shit talk that he's doing.
And he's gotten better. His wrestling. I don't know where his background is. I don't know if he's been wrestling his whole life, but
I
it's
like
gotten
him in
better
the
recently.
Miz. I kind of like that little thing. Like he could be like the wannabe A-lister, and the Miz is the A-lister.
He was the the Drifter, and they dropped the Drifter and they just kept that as Elias. He was the Drifter Elias.
They should give him.
Or Elias.
I think he feuded briefly with Jeff Jarrett when Jeff Jarrett came back there for the Royal Rumble or for the WrestleMania, but they should put him together. Like he wants to be a country music star. Jeff Jarrett was a country music star.
I hate Jeff Jarrett.
Boom! Here's your storyline. Spend my days getting by on the road.
So people who don't know who Mansoor is, he was signed to WWE after last year's or the Greatest Royal Rumble, which was
That was this. Yeah, this was the previous Saudi Arabia event. Yeah.
So he was signed for that.
So I just wanted to ask you, when he said he was a prospect, by prospect he was just like competing locally. He wasn't actually in, because he said he was in the building, and that's what kind of confused me. I wasn't sure if I thought he was going to be signed to NXT, but hadn't.
He competed a couple times recently.
Okay.
Recently.
Okay, so he was still like he wasn't on the pay-per-view.
No, he wasn't on Takeover. Did you see Takeover? We should have done Takeover. Takeover is good as fuck.
I have it recorded. I'm probably gonna be watching it this weekend.
If you want to do that one next, we could do that one. It was good as fuck. I'll watch it again. I already saw it, but it was good.
Yeah, we can.
A
We
lot
can
of
do
good
that
matches.
I want to see the Gargano and Cole match.
Yeah.
I want to see those guys again.
They put on a great match. Gargano always does. But yeah, Mansoor's only appeared a couple times recently on NXT. He got, like I said, he got signed from last year's Royal Rumble or whatever. So next match after that, and the main event is the seniors division. The Undertaker versus Goldberg. I don't like Goldberg. NWO for life.
See, that's the beautiful thing about me being the WWF guy that watched Nitro, because I like the NWO. I love Goldberg, but talk Vince and Shane, fuck them. Stone Cold for life. Like
I hate Goldberg. I've always hated him. I was a kid when I was introduced to Goldberg. He was the NWO's natural born enemy. I didn't like him.
I I like him, but he reminds me of a uh, athletic version of the Ultimate Warrior. Very minimal move set. You can tell where the match is going to go before it starts.
Yeah.
The entrance never changes. It's always the exact same thing. It's he was just more athletic than Milton Warrior. Was the only difference I see in these guys.
Still very limited. Well, just like the Ultimate Warrior.
Well, I mean, he's limited now because new hips, new knees.
But like back in the day, he didn't have a lot of move.
No.
Like he was
No,
just
he didn't.
power.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what he was known
exactly.
for. He was just power, and he just beat the fuck out of him, shoulder tackle him, because he came in
That
as
one-
a football player.
That one when he was his first match against Hugh Morris when he was Bill Goldberg, and he had Hugh Morris in the corner, and he backed up and he did a standing backflip and landed on his feet. And I remember watching that for the first time. Like, oh, I didn't know he could do that. Like,
Yeah, no,
that's like a 270-pound, like just muscle-bound
real
beast.
athlete,
Like,
dude. He was an
but
Atlanta Falcon.
yeah,
The
that's
Atlanta
right.
Falcons.
I
But
so much-
Razor Ramon was my guy back in the day. Like 1, 2, 3 Kid versus Razor Ramon. That's what got me fucking sold
yes,
on fucking
yeah.
wrestling. I followed Razor Ramon from the fucking WWF to WCW as Scott Hall. I used to play the video games, and that's who I would pick.
I just purchased 18. I didn't get 19. I got 18 was still cheaper.
Yeah.
And
I never bought 19.
Diesel and Razor Ramon are in it.
Yeah.
And I've only all the incarnations that I ever got were Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. But now at Razor Ramon and Diesel, and I play the and I see them pop up, I'm like, I might cry. Like I haven't played as Diesel and Sean and Scott Hall since maybe 1995 video game. I'm like it brought back so many like childhood memories of watching these guys, like the ladder matches, the match with the 1, 2, 3 kid, Diesel and Sean. I got like my entire childhood was brought back just when I saw these two guys. Like, oh, this is way too much, man. Like,
trying to reach for the game. I don't know exactly where it is. No, that's Space Jam. No, I have Raw right here somewhere. For the
like the
Sega.
original, like the original Raw.
For Sega.
Yeah. Oh.
Pull out real quick.
You're killing me.
Spider-Man. You can.
Yes.
Mortal Kombat. Where are you? People gonna call me out and say I'm a liar. I can't find Raw, but I can find WrestleMania.
Oh man, that takes me back. Oh wee.
Check that out, guys.
Love
You
it.
guys say it's just a case in here? Look, it's the fucking original booklet. Oh, is this a poster? Is this a cool poster?
Wait, you never opened this thing in this life, guys.
Oh no, I just haven't opened it in a while. It's just fucking.
Oh, I got like the little bio thing. What is that? Is that like 94?
Let's see. 96.
96. Oof.
I was 8 years old.
I was 11.
Yeah, the game's in here, guys. You don't believe me? It's right there. See? Still works.
That's amazing. And I love how it's WrestleMania, the arcade game. So like it was like they just changed it from like standing there putting quarters in to like, hey, just play it at home now. That is wicked.
I showed you guys the other one, but I probably should do a video and show you guys my video game display. Or not the display, but the video games themselves. I got some good ones in here. I don't know if you guys remember the...
For anyone that's actually curious, this conversation is a lot more entertaining than the Goldberg Undertaker match was.
Yeah. The boxing greatest hits.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I have Street Fighter, the original. Or
I gotta
Street
get a
Fighter 2,
passport and
sorry.
make my way to Chicago.
Yeah, you should, bro. I'll let you play my games.
You should tell Kara I'm going away for the weekend just to play some video games with Raph.
Yeah, Zelda over here. 64
Oof.
Zelda. Ocarina of Time.
Oh,
One of my favorite games.
that was I lost like an entire summer to that game.
I've lost a lot of summers to that game.
Yeah.
Let's see. If you could see this a little bit better, Ryan.
Oh.
Jesus got me that. It lights up, but it looks shitty on the screen. See?
Yeah, I saw it lighting up on the other side there. Yeah, that is wicked.
For the audio people, go check out my YouTube. I'm showing Ryan some of my collection of games, of stuff I have. Because I moved my room around to open it up the best, and now I'm by my shelf so I can grab shit.
But
Like,
actually, I should
like the
compliment
original PlayStation.
I like this.
Resident Evil.
That's awesome.
Check that out, guys. Resident Evil, the original one.
I like this setup a lot more because I used to get so distracted looking at all your toys on the wall. So now it's like Tom Segura. Oh, that's it. Okay.
Well, actually, that's very blank now. I might put a couch or a shelf over there, and because I need to keep buying a lot more toys, because they keep on coming out with badass shit. So
They do.
I'm not
You
gonna
can become like Anderson Silva, man. Get a full walk-in closet.
Yeah, you saw that?
Yeah. That is.
Bam! You seen my helmet, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I hate you for having toys, and I'm not allowed to. And if I do get them, the damn kids destroy them. I had to. You don't understand. No. When I say like I had like Ninja Turtle stuff, I had so many Ninja Turtle things. I took all my Raphael Ninja Turtle everything and put it into like a shoebox and just tied it up and put it into the closet so the kids couldn't get it.
Yeah.
You're killing me.
Yeah, I have a lot of old stuff. Check out my YouTube for unboxings. I'm gonna do a video and show everyone my collection of stuff because I have Xbox, I have PlayStation, I have Nintendo, and I have Sega, and they all have like games from different eras that I used to play as a kid.
And once in a blue moon as an adult.
Yeah, I'll throw them in sometimes, and I'll play them every so often. Streets of Rage is a must. Love that fucking game. One of my favorites of all time.
I don't know if I played that one. I don't think so.
You used to walk through the streets and beat the shit out of like street punks and like hit them with
So
a
it's almost
pipe,
like Grand Theft Auto.
stab them.
Like,
Well, you were a good guy. You were either a big wrestler or like
Oh, okay.
or like
So when they realized that being the good guy wasn't fun, they're like, "Hey, what if you're the punk that's like robbing this guy?" And they made billions.
No, I forgot exactly what the premises was, but someone's taking over the fucking city or some bull. I don't know. I could probably read the back of the game, but not today.
Another day.
Yeah. So let's get back to it so we can finish this up. We're on our last match, and we got into it a little bit already. The Undertaker versus Goldberg match, the senior division.
Yeah.
These guys trying to kill each other.
You know, this match would have been passable if Goldberg didn't actually get hurt.
Yeah, it looks like he got concussed, right?
He has come out and said when he hit the ring or the ring post, sorry, he said he blacked out.
Oh fuck!
And and if you have any doubts, you can really tell from 3 reactions of the commentators, the Undertaker, and the referee. When Goldberg's laying at the corner, and it looks like, okay, that's what they always do when they run into the ring post. He falls down and his head's down, and when he rolls over, you see the blood. Everyone's just like, oh, and the referee's like, oh shit. He's like taking his walkie-talkie out. He's taking all of his stuff out to get to his gloves because because now they know that blood has disease. They didn't know that until like 5 years ago. Everyone's rushing. Undertaker's like, all right, I can't attack him just yet. The referee's talking to him. It was not a good decision to continue.
Mm-hmm.
They should have just when he laid back, you should and I love the Undertaker as the dog running the yard. He should have said, "We're going home early." He should have been able to tell throughout that match that Goldberg shouldn't have taken the first choke slam. He shouldn't have taken the tombstone. And it was evident when he tried to do the jackhammer when he just like dropped Undertaker on his head,
Like
and
in the
when he tried
Brainbuster?
yeah, and then tried to go for the tombstone, and as he lifted him up, he just fell. And the Undertaker finished it with a chokeslam. Didn't go for the tombstone because he's like, wrap it up.
Yeah, the third of his finishers, the third less powerful of them. I would
Yeah.
say I would give the tombstone number 1, the power bomb or the last ride number
Last
2,
ride
and
number
the
2, yeah.
chokeslam number 3.
Chokeslam was always the lead up to the finisher. It was always the signature. I mean, and even before the concussion and and also that cut was bad because there was countless times when he would get up and his forehead was clean from being on the Undertaker or on the mat, and within 5 seconds it was covering his part of his face again. It was a bad cut. It was nasty. But when the Undertaker was, I forget what the setup was. I think it might have been a choke slam, and Goldberg was fighting it off. This was after the 2 spears to start the match. When he did that, I loved it. When he used to do that like somersault into the heel hook, and he rolls him, and the Undertaker and him both flop down on their back. And the Undertaker then puts his leg up, and Goldberg grabs it. And Goldberg's tapping him and trying to slide his leg in between. And he's trying to push it, and it was just like, oh my. And that's before the concussion.
Yeah.
Like that, I mean, that was a sign like okay, they shouldn't be doing athletic moves. But I gotta like I said, I love the Undertaker. After Goldberg hit that post, he should have said, like, we gotta wrap this up. He should they all I could see that he could not continue. He collapsed at ringside after the match. Like, it was a serious injury. He got fucked up,
Dude.
and they let him take bad shots afterwards.
I heard Undertaker was giving it to him after the match in the back, like yelling at him because of his rustiness. But I think
It's
it was
not
due
rusty.
to I think it was due to his concussion and them both being tired and old.
And these are like old guys. These are guys that have been around for a while, been in battles. Like, it had potential to be an okay match. I would say it could have been like how Brock and Undertaker did it, how Brock and Goldberg did it. They could have done a match like that perfect. I think that him hitting the pole just fucked things up. They should have just said, you know what, not our night, guys. We're so sorry. We'll give you this one at another show. Because both guys could have got seriously hurt after that, and yeah, like and Goldberg's already not one of the most popular guys in WWE just in general. Like he was never really well received there. And now he has this hanging over his head also. It's like,
trying to kill the Undertaker, bro.
Tried to fucking paralyze the Undertaker.
Well, they kind of both did, so.
Like, ugh. It was...
yeah, well, that was Super...
Let down.
Yeah, Super Showdown. 2019. Yeah, I got nothing else on that pay-per-view, Ryan.
What's next year? What are they going to do? The hologram of Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan? Like...
It might be better than this pay-per-view.
You know, if they can actually get a hologram to work with Hulk Hogan, I would probably I would fly to see it.
Don't give him the idea, bro.
Yes. Yeah. You know, Shawn Michaels hasn't fought Hulk Hogan in about 15 years. We can recycle that one.
Yeah,
what's Brutus the Barber doing these days? He was just at WrestleMania. He's still alive.
Bring him back as the Zodiac, not Brutus.
No. Oh, what about Greg the Hammer and Honky Tonk Man? Bring back Rhythm and Blues.
Rhythm and Blues. Okay, Ryan. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Congratulations to you, Raph, on your number 100 official. But yeah, no, thanks for having me on. Love doing this. We'll definitely do NXT. I'll check that out, and we'll hook up a date, and we'll definitely do that one soon.
All right, cool. I got nothing. Any final thoughts?
Peace and love, rock and roll.
Peace and love, rock and roll. All right. Please subscribe to the podcast.
Give the man 5 stars.
Yeah, on iTunes, give me 5 stars. Subscribe on Podbean, iTunes for audio. Subscribe on YouTube for my unboxings or just video of me and Ryan. If you want to see Ryan's kids, they show up every once in a while on the podcast. They're cute little kids. Go ahead and check out the rewrites. Yeah, I got nothing else. I'll see you guys next time on the Foil Podcast. I love you, cocksuckers.